Hello everyone, my name is Arihant and this is the first true video on my YouTube channel, and this will be about the tennis racket and how it has influenced and changed the way sport is played through its change and its own adaptations. And without further ado, let's get right into it. The change in tennis rackets throughout the decades in tennis history has changed the way tennis is played. In the 50s, 60s, 70s, and even 80s, tennis was a sport of technique, and now it has become one of power and one of extreme spin. You can look at players such as Rafael Nadal, who puts unbelievable spin on his forehand and is able to get that ball in from anywhere on the court. Let's start off with the 1970s, where tennis rackets were mostly made out of wood, commonly ash and beech. The dimensions of the rackets were 27 by 9 inches, and this was emblematic of the stress limits of wood. And because of this, the rackets are extremely heavy and players were not able to swing fast enough. And in order to counteract this and find another way to play good tennis, it was all about technique, placement, angle. And that is why in the 1970s, 60s, and 50s, all the tennis balls were hit a lot slower, but there was a lot more placement and accuracy involved. Let's take a look at a comparison between wood and composite rackets, which are modern rackets today. They both had about the same length. Wood rackets were 69 centimeters, while composite rackets are 70 centimeters. The head size, a composite racket is much larger than a wood racket, and thus allows the players to control the ball more. The biggest thing is the weight. Wood rackets weigh 380 grams, while composite rackets only weigh about 295 pounds, 95 grams. And this decrease in mass has the important spin-off and allows the players to swing the racket faster, and this creates higher impact speed and puts more spin on the ball and makes the ball go a lot faster. Since 2002, in all Grand Slam events, the average speed of the fastest servers has increased by almost 20 miles per hour, which is insane. And this is really all because of the racket and the decrease in mass, which gives the ability for the players to swing the ball a lot faster. Alright, so we've talked a lot about the racket frame, but let's turn our attention a little bit to the strings. The strings are a key part of the change in rackets. The ball touches of strings. It usually does not touch the frame of the racket, unless it's a bad shot or a miss hit. It is generally accepted that lower string tension creates more power, while higher string tension creates more control. And strings nowadays are close to about 90 to 95% efficient, which means once the ball hits the strings, they're able to retain about 90 to 95% of that kinetic energy, convert it into potential, and when the tennis player swings back, all that potential energy gets converted into kinetic energy. And because of these the lower string tensions that are able to be created due to the new racket and the lighter weights and just the new frames, players are able to hit with a lot more power and a lot more force. Here is a modern tennis racket. This is not mine, this is my dad's. As you can tell, here's the frame, which is extremely light compared to the old wooden rackets. The grip is right here and the handle's down. The strings are of a very low tension, which allows the tennis player to get a lot more power when they're hitting. And you can tell, compared to the wooden racket, that this frame is huge, which is crucial for the more power aspect of a tennis game. Whenever we're looking at this topic, it's always important to look at the other side. So in this case, there is one major downside to modern racket technology, and the big one is the increased stiffness that modern rackets have. And this increased stiffness means the racket vibrates a lot quicker, which has been shown and proposed to be linked with tennis elbow, a condition that many tennis players have through a lot of repetition of one certain shot. So therefore, there are far more positive effects of modern racket technology than there are negative. But there is this big one of increased injuries and more tennis elbow problems. But overall, modern racket technology has changed the way tennis is played. Serves are a lot quicker, the game is played a lot faster, there's a lot more topspin, and players can practically hit the ball from anywhere on the court. So thanks to modern racket technology, the game is in a much better place.